Alright, just picked up this 1985 Honda Goldwing 1200. Somebody has put a external fuel pump on there. That's one of several things that's wrong with this bike. Good old taped up seat. I took the backrest off because it was too far forward for me. It has plenty of luggage and storage on it. The bike does drip, drip, drip. I don't know what's going on there. It has no back brakes at this point. It has electrical issues. It has 100,000 miles on it. The speedometer doesn't work, but thank God the radio works. Like, I couldn't emphasize that enough. So the auto leveling works. There's a bunch of stuff I need to learn how to use on this bike. Mostly gonna clean it up, fix the back brakes, and resell it. So this is the whole bike. Seems to run okay. It got some jinky wiring here that you need to open up the cover here. Open this up. There's a switch in here. Wow, where'd you go? There's a switch in here. That turns on the fuel pump. I don't know why it has a fuel pump. And it turns on the cooling fan for the radiator. So I'm not sure why those things don't turn on with the ignition switch. But I think the ignition switch is bad. Maybe I'll pick one of those up and solve all my problems. Anyways, first video, first day. I'll see what I can do with it. I'm looking to just flip it, sell it, make a few bucks. Bye-bye. Alright, people. I've been working on the 1984 Honda Goldwing Aspincade 1200. Yeah, what a bucket of worms this thing turned out to be. So, where I left off on the other video was the fuel pump. All I've managed to do is remove the fuel pump. Have one on order. Should be here maybe today. The rear brakes, I have removed the rear master caliper, master cylinder, and caliper. The caliper was seized entirely. Alright, but here's the biggest surprise I found. In the saddlebag, the big green saddlebag right here, was this battery. Okay, connected with those cables to a Ford starter relay right inside the battery cage. So I've taken all that crap out of there. The original solenoid works okay, but I ordered a new one because the guy did some funky wiring here. So I had to order a new battery cable to go from the starter up to here, because he cut the one that was in here. This is it. It's now too short to reach where it needs to go. He did a lot of cutting. This guy really liked cutting wires, and it caused me to do this. I had, and this thing's huge, Okay, I had this printed out, and this is the easiest way to explain to you what he did. The ignition switch is bad, okay? The key doesn't do diddly. So the way you fix that is you cut all of these wires, twist them all together, maybe put a toggle switch between the red and the green, the ground, okay? And you're good to go. That's not what he did. No. Why would we do that? That's easy. What I'm going to do is he cut the wires down here after the plug. These are plugs that you can unplug. So when you buy a new ignition switch, it comes with this plug. Okay? Well, he cut it and threw away the bottom half of the plug. So I have to order a wiring harness just to get that plug. Not gonna happen. So I rewired it. I'll stick a picture in the video here of how he had it wired using red wire nuts. That's not how I do things. This is what I did. I went and bought a J-Tron power distribution fuse block, and I installed it right here. Okay, and I took all those wires he cut from the ignition switch and routed them onto here. This is my 12 volts switched. That runs to a switch I mounted right here. And the little light turns on when you flip it on. Okay. It's inside the air filter housing, but there's enough room on the wires to, you can take it off and still change the air filter. I'm not an idiot. So anyways, this is the solution I have for his hacked up wirings. It's much better than what he had, trust me. So I have a little bit of tape up to do, but it's good to go. The other thing is all of this wiring over here. And the fuel pump. The thing runs great though, I'll tell you. You know, now with it properly wired, the starter switch works. When I have a battery hooked up. So that's what I've been working on the Honda Aspincade. The oil is a bit of an issue. At first I thought it was. You know, I thought 100,000 miles on one of these motorcycles was a lot. I'm told it's not true. So you can see it's overfull. And yes, it's gasoline. Because the way he had it wired before, he had a fuel pump that was on as soon as you flip the switch. Okay? So he, if you forgot to flip the switch and push the starter button, you'd flood the engine. You know, it wouldn't start because you had no ignition. So an oil change is in this bike's future. At least the oil looks clean. New rear brake caliper. Let me zoom you over here. This is the brake caliper. This thing has not worked in several years. These pistons are supposed to be clean and free to move in and out with a little bit of pressure put into the input. These are seized. I cannot get those out. So I had to buy a used caliper on Craigslist for $80, and it did not have the pistons. I found the pistons at JP Cycles, and he got me for 25 bucks each. So that's and then a rebuild kit because I want new seals. So that's 160 bucks I have into it. So bummer. This is the rear brake master cylinder. Just a rebuild kit, some new rubbers and whatnot. I think it'll be okay. So that's what's going on. We gotta make it safe. Gotta have brakes. It's gotta stop. It's gotta start. One of the things I'm having troubles with is the tune control to change the channel on the radio. Doesn't seem to work. The button feels kind of funky here. I don't know if I'm going to take this apart and see if I can clean it up, make it work. Like I said, the radio worked, and it does if you like a hissing sound, because you can't change the channel. The mirrors have had an issue. I took them off because you gotta take them off in order to take the windshield off. I want to take the windshield off because the section, you can't see it in the video, the section right here is just full of dirt. It looks like crap. So I just want to pull it off and clean it. Also, I'm having a speedo issue, and the part I need to test is underneath here. So I gotta take that all apart to test my speedometer and find out if it's this unit here. I'm told there's tabs inside that unit that get bent and it stops reading the pickup or something like that. So I'm trying to find out how that works. Who cares how fast you're going? No. Worst case scenario, I'll mount my phone and do a speedometer app. But the goal is to sell this bike. I'm not keeping it. I want to ride it for a few weeks, a month or so. I drained all the gas out of it. The tank looks, you can't tell. It's not bad. It's got some rust in there, but mostly clean. So it's rusty above where the gas usually sits. So cleaned all the chrome off. I have all the bags and everything waiting to be cleaned. I bought a new seat cover. He took and put, this is Flex Seal tape. And it is so sticky. It peeled off and you can't even sit on the seat. I put paper towel on it just so I would stop putting my hands in that sticky crap. So that's where we are with the Aspincade. Just waiting for parts. So far I've spent $500 on parts, which is way more than I was wanting to spend on this bike. But when it's all put together, I think it'll run good and be a fun thing to drive around, you know. I'll keep you up to date as parts come in. I'll do another video. I probably won't do a whole lot of stuff on the video itself. So subscribe, like, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, you know what to do. Bye-bye.